This is the secret nobody's telling you about. I'm going to show you exactly how your nightmares are actually the cheat code to manifesting faster and having the things you desire, accelerating it 50 times. I appreciate you subscribing right down at the bottom, and we're going to jump into those nightmares. Let me tell you something. When it comes to nightmares, it's so misunderstood. For so long it has been, but it's no surprise, okay? Because what age were you when you saw your first horror movie? Did you watch Goosebumps? Were you one of those kids like me where you were watching Child's Play early on? Like, I watched so many horror movies growing up, like just being a little kid. Saw Child's Play, I saw It, I saw Cujo, I could go on and on about how many I've seen throughout my life. It was a lot when I used to watch horror movies. And so if you think back on it like that, we were programmed to feel this fear. When it doesn't fit the norm, it's this fear. And then you have, what was the Freddy Krueger one? Wasn't that Nightmare on Elm Street? Saw that. So then that amplified it when you have these nightmares. Oh, it's this scary thing. Somebody's going to get you. Something bad is going to happen. Like, yeah, you were programmed when you were younger to feel this fear, to have this fear around nightmares, to have this fear around things that are out of the norm. But the nightmare itself is not bad. There's nothing bad about a nightmare, because a nightmare just shows you what you believe is true. It shows you your beliefs in a very amplified way. So it's going to show you those limiting beliefs that you had, all those limiting beliefs that you had about jealousy and I'm not worthy of having a good life and I'm always alone. It amplifies that to bring it to your attention. Now, this is why I love nightmares so much, because it's a cheat code, because it gives you and puts it in your face what the limiting belief is. So when you shift it, you shift this strong limiting belief, because that is the required energy for you to be on the fastest path to manifest your desire, to manifest the money, to manifest the clients, to manifest having positive days, to manifest having your own place. It is in your face for a reason. So it's your subconscious mind. When you're having these nightmares, the subconscious mind is working. When you wake up, you're in your conscious mind. And for a lot of people, is this you? You wake up from a nightmare. Maybe in the nightmare you died. So you wake up from the nightmare and then you're like, oh my gosh, something bad is going to happen to me. I better stay away from driving today. If you had a nightmare about a car crash, I better stay away from driving. That is just because you feel that fear, because when you wake up, you're in your conscious mind. So when you're in your conscious mind, you're there to activate the belief system that you have going on. So all of that is being filtered through the current belief system that you have. So if you have a belief that nightmares are bad and something bad is going to happen to you, that's going to show up in your emotion with fear. But since you're a CEO manifester and you're watching this video, you can start integrating into your life that nightmares are good. They are beneficial. They are accelerators. So when you wake up, you can feel appreciation that you had that nightmare, that was brought to your attention. So, and even when you integrate these type of beliefs, even if you wake up and it was, let's say it was, it did scare you, that fear, that scared feeling won't last any longer than like 10 seconds. And for myself, I've gotten this down to like a science. When these nightmares happen, I'm like, I'll wake up and then I'm like, oh, okay, good. And then I will analyze it. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. I will lay there and I will analyze and identify what the belief is. It's very quick, because the emotion was, the It was amplified so much. So I was able to feel it easier and get the belief. Why was I so scared when I fell off the cliff? Why was I so scared that that happened? Because it made me feel small. Okay, what's wrong with feeling so small? Because it shows that things don't work out for me ever. And so I can go on like that and ask myself questions, and it gets to the core very easily. So then it may boil down to I'm not good enough to have a great life. I'm not good enough to be smart. I'm not this, I'm not that. It'll boil down to a core limiting belief. And once you shift that, you will see very, very quickly, most likely that same day, your reality shift. And that is how it works. So don't be scared. Do not be scared of your nightmares. And especially if you have reoccurring nightmares, and they will dissipate. I don't care if you have been having a reoccurring nightmare for 10 years. Once you do this and you start integrating into your life, identifying what the limiting belief is, you will see those nightmares dissipate. You won't have many nightmares. And when they do happen, you'll be happy. So it's this, you'll take the fear element out of it. How does that sound? Do you think that would change your life? Say it with me. Nightmares are good. They are beneficial. Now, if that makes you feel fear just to say that, like, oh my gosh, why is she saying nightmares are good? And then you feel a tenseness, then that means that you have a strong limiting belief. So once you identify the belief that you have, that you're hanging on to keep those nightmares amplified in your life so that they are present and they are strong, identify that. Why is it so scary? Why does it feel unsafe for me to not have nightmares? Why is it so scary for me to see nightmares as a good thing? Ask yourself that. Why do I keep holding on to these nightmares? Why do I think these nightmares are purposeful? So ask yourself that. Ask yourself questions. Y'all, when you ask yourself the good questions, you will get good answers. Very good answers that are going to transform your life. Instead of asking questions about all this external stuff, ask questions to yourself. You have the answers. And even if you have a nightmare about maybe a family member, something bad happening to a family member, or just something not ideal happening, that doesn't mean that that is going to happen to that person or to yourself. It doesn't mean that. Now, if you have a belief that these things will happen, these bad things, so to speak, will happen, then something of similar vibrational frequency will manifest in your reality. If you consistently hold that vibrational frequency, like, oh my gosh, something bad is going to happen, and you're just like, oh my gosh, there was something to that dream. If you keep holding that vibrational frequency, something similar will occur in your reality. I'm not saying that exact thing is going to happen. I'm not saying that by any means. But what you want to pay attention to is that fear that you feel. Something of similar vibrational frequency that matches that fear will show up in your reality. So that can just be like a friend. Let's say your friend doesn't want to talk to you anymore, and they're like, okay, well, we're not doing this anymore. And then you start to feel lonely. You start to feel lonely. You start to feel scared that you're alone. So then things of similar vibrational frequency. Remember this. Things that happen in your reality, those external things, they're not good or bad. They're neutral. What matters is your emotion. The emotion you put into these things that indicate that you have a belief. You may have a positive belief, you may have a negative belief. But your emotion will let you know. It'll let you know like an alarm what you got going on. I used to have this certain nightmare, and it was a reoccurring one. And it would always go back to when I was in high school. So I would ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. And as I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm going to the bathroom, and then when I come back, all of a sudden I forget where my classroom. Oh, you know what? I got an even better dream for y'all. I've had the reoccurring dream, and this just came to my mind. This is a good one, and I feel like this resonates with you. I had a reoccurring nightmare that I was in college. And for some reason, I never attended my English class. Like, I looked on my paper, on the grade card or whatever, and it was a 0 for English. I was like, what? I didn't attend the classes? So then, that would make me feel scared. Like, for some reason, there was this one class. For whatever reason, I never attended the class. So I just got a 0 for the class. I failed the class. So with that, though, I did some identifying of the limiting belief. Sure, that's not a nightmare where, I died or anything like that. I mean, I've had those before, but it's not scary. So whether it's something of that type of magnitude or it's something where you're failing school, fear is fear. Identify what the limiting belief is, okay? So when I was able to identify the limiting belief, you know what happened? I haven't had that nightmare since. I haven't had it since. And as a matter of fact, I have less nightmares now than I did years ago because I do this. Nightmares are good. That's your booster pack, right? That's your booster pack to manifesting your desire because you will be in the vibrational frequency. You will have the energy to shift into the reality of having your manifestation. It's easy, easy, easy. You don't have to see your nightmares as a waste, as this thing that's just getting in the way, because it's not. It's there for your benefit. I will say that 1,000 times. It is there for your benefit. It is going to only help you when you use it in that way. Start using it in that way. And I want to know down in the comments below, what nightmare did you have? What was the last nightmare that you have? I want to know. Because if you do this, start by when you wake up from the dream, 9 times out of 10, you're going to feel fear. You're going to feel, oh my gosh. Okay. Acknowledge that you feel that way. I accept that I feel this fear and I feel it for a reason. You feel it for a reason because you believe that you have to feel that way. And so from there, start asking yourself, why am I so scared of this nightmare? Why is it shaking me up? So ask yourself that. You will get an answer. You will get an answer. And this also works really good because you're just waking up. So you're not going to be really thinking too hard about these answers. It's what the first thing that comes to your mind, first answer, roll with it. Roll with it. And so ask yourself that question. Okay? And see the meaning you're putting behind this stuff. What description are you giving the nightmare? What description are you giving if you died in the nightmare? What description are you giving that person that did it to you? Because you'll see, it'll be very obvious what the belief is. And the belief boils down to something about you. It's never about, when you're getting to the core limiting belief, it's never about all these external things. It has something to do with you. So it wouldn't be like people are bad. No, it is about you. It is about you. Why do you feel like you're bad? It boils down to you. So when you're doing that identify limiting beliefs, make sure that when you're peeling back the layers, that it's going back to you. And you're going to transform your life. Watch how fast you manifest. Watch how fast your reality shifts. Because I'm telling y'all, it's going to feel magical. You're going to feel happy. You're going to dissipate that fear. That fear will shift into appreciation. You'll appreciate your nightmares. And then you will start to, if you're conditioned to watch those horror movies and everything and feel that fear, you will be gradually conditioning yourself to feel appreciation for things that are out of the norm. Because I mean, if you talk to somebody just on the street and tell them about, oh, I just love nightmares, bring it on. They're like, what is wrong with you? So, because it's not technically the norm, but it can be your norm so that you don't have to live in fear. You can live in appreciation. So then when these nightmares happen, it's not like, oh my gosh, I was manifesting and things were just going so good and I was feeling so positive. Then I had a nightmare. Oh my gosh, this stuff is not working. I don't know why I had this nightmare. You do. You do, don't you? You know why you have it now. So do this. And I want to know at the bottom, y'all, what nightmare did you have? What nightmare did you have? And let me know. And you can edit your comment right down at the bottom and let me know what shifted once you did this method that I told you, this technique. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, my amazing CEO manifestors, lovely souls, for watching this video and subscribing right down at the bottom and pressing the bell icon, because you're going to get another video and keep on getting these breakthroughs. You deserve this. You were meant to hear this information. You were led to hear this information. This stuff is going to help you. It's going to transform your reality. You're going to transform your reality so fast that you're going to be like, Bran, what the heck? All right, I will see you in the next video.